This little clip, I talk about legacy. Legacy is an important thing. What we do. Cheers. Everything we leave behind. Out in areas like this. Beautiful. Shell. .380, I think. Luger, Smith & Wesson. 9mm. Little pieces of plastic laying out here. Legacy. What we leave behind. What we do. I'll talk about a tree house that was, or a ground house that was out by our bus stop when I was a youngin'. Murphy Gulch, Colorado, Jefferson County. Found a ground house one day after we moved up there from Bailey, Colorado, and I don't know. Next day, somebody left a box of pornography in there, and I picked it up. Even took a magazine and showed her to Mom, because Dad was never home, and I wanted to ask an adult about it, and figured my mom would be the best one. I showed it to her. Boy, she snatched that magazine out of my hand, asked me where I got that, and boy, I got smacked by a Oui magazine. Oui, it's French for yes. Ever since I was about 5 years old in Bailey, Colorado, I wanted to talk about visions and dreams with a preacher. And I had a vision about a woman dressed in white and magma coming up out of the core of the earth. And the preacher told me it was of my imagination. It made me angry. I took it as he was calling me a liar, and I kicked him right square in the shin with my father upside me. My father did the wrong thing. Maybe he kind of chuckled about it, put his hand on my shoulder and said, well, I forget what he said, but he kind of grinned about it too. And I think that's why the community links gave him a hard time. Nevertheless, man, that was about 1974. 1974 through 1979, I was 1978, when I ran away from home anyway. I was reading that material and it was blowing my mind. Sure, I was looking at the pictures too. I was intrigued about the vision I had when I was young. That woman dressed in white, seeing women laid out, and other mess, y'all know how it is. Within the institution of social control, and shared information, when I was 11 years old, I think it was 11, coming into puberty and everything, first time I ever had a wet dream, and it scared me, spooked me. I didn't know what was up. But I asked Mom about it too. Next thing I know, I'm in a special ed class, half day in school, public school downtown, after Mom and Daddy divorced, and my training for disposition by my daddy was removed. Talked into about 3 different assembly halls. I figured my mom was brainwashed into divorce from my father. And the last church assembly hall, she was directed into prison ministries outreach for a retired soldier that served from 1945 to 1970 when he retired. E. Carrera Field, Shack Attack Command. And this assembly hall figured that an ex-con was the best raising for fly brats, military brats, 5 of us. I'm not going to mention his name, but it didn't last long at all. He tried even to get my oldest brother to steal saddles after he was released from prison. Get back to that wet dream though, and the class I was thrown into. Home economics. Part of that class, they wanted to teach about masturbation rather than how visualizing and looking at such material as pornography, you'll eventually grow into it into your puberty years, and you can wake up lusting after the flesh. And that's what brought on that wet dream I had. They didn't want to talk about that. They wanted to talk into the interests of letting go of some of that testosterone. Today there's a national park station within that same building. I've been back to Colorado, passed through Jefferson County, where that home economics class was being taught by some special interest group. My point is that it wasn't the truth, and it was a distraction. And I never got the counseling saved by the Institution of Social Control and the community links being laughed at, those odd looks. Never even got a psychiatrist who wanted to talk about this in an appropriate way. I'm doing this because when I was in Conifer, Colorado in 2006, in Bailey, Colorado, North Platte High, there was an individual who lost his mind, and he was being watched. They knew what he was doing. They pushed him to do it. They pushed him into a devious act, not an appropriate one. Laughing at him, never the appropriate conversation. From what I understand, he brutally raped maybe 3 girls, killed one of them, if I got everything right. And yes, he himself was killed also. I was working up there at the Safeway store in Conifer, Colorado, putting in one of the biggest Safeway chains there in Conifer, built within the shortest time period. Don't matter what company I was working for. But even on that job, I was laughed at and set up about my work and my integrity. That's why I'm recording this, to show my seriousness about our reality and what's going on. And I want to push things away. Later on in life, there's a story in Playboy magazine about Summer of Love, Ashbury Haight Street, San Francisco, and the disappearances of youth, where I ran away to in 1978. Went from Denver, Colorado. all the way to Oakland, wound up downtown San Francisco. Jumped the subway to make the train. Met another individual on that train that was in a group home, what I was fixing to be into as soon as I got back into Colorado and visiting JCYC again and waking up ways I ain't fallen asleep. Ain't never done that before. Have fallen out of my bunk bed in my youth, but getting back to that little ground house and the pornography that was left in it. Over the years, being laughed at, drawn away, and becoming drawn inside. This is what I feel certain people wanted, and through that, in the institution of social control, manipulation, psychological operations, who knows who it's granted by? Special interest groups? Good possibility. I don't have anybody to blame except for manipulative minds. People choosing an evil course and an evil destiny, I think, over an appropriateness. That's why that shooter in Arizona, I mentioned that he had killed, I think it was 12 people that he killed. And I mentioned the youngest of them was a 9-year-old girl, and she wasn't 12 years old. She was 9 years old. Because he was trying to control reality through disinformation. Today, I've often wondered about the access to pornography, even on the internet, and why women are caused to, within their last steps, man, of making it, use their bodies in such a vulgar display. Men even drawn right into it. Is this drawn in because of control by certain aspects of our reality that are involved with manipulation, like even on the Zodiac? It's even mentioned about in the collection of testimonies, or the Bible, if you will. You know, Jesus even said this, "For this reason have I come, so that after me the Holy Ghost shall come unto you. Through visions and dreams shall you know the truth." It's a contradiction to me having visions and dreams when I was a 5-year-old boy. Have a nice day.